You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. What up, mi gente? This is your boy Al Mega. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders podcast. Today we go into some comic books, some independent comic books, folks. We're gonna be talking about a dope Kickstarter out right now. All right, it's only 7 days old, if you will. All right, well, not even a few days old, I think, or even not. We're gonna find out because we're gonna be talking about lesser known comics. No, I don't mean unknown comics. I mean the brand lesser known comics. Right? We're gonna be talking to two amazing individuals from there. First up, let me introduce the founder of Lesser Known Comics and a writer, of course, amongst that, the one and only, el señor Mark Bernal. How you doing, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? Finally, so glad to
we connected, man. Yeah, but we were connected. Shout out to Gabe Valentin, Digital Lizards of Doom too, because telling me, yo, we gotta all connect. So this is great, man. So shout out to Gabe. And now let me also introduce one of your amazing artists and illustrators on the team. I mean, I thought he was irradiated having these problems, but no, he's on. All right, he's here. He's gonna hang out. We're gonna talk his amazing art on a particular book that's part of that campaign, if you will, that's in there. Let me introduce the one, the only Kieran X. Quinn, how you doing, kiddo?
Hey, thanks for having us.
No, thanks for coming on to talk the greatness of batch 4 of lesser known comics. I need to know the origin stories of this. You know, what batch 4? I mean, what are we talking about? I mean, we got Tank McGregor, which you guys. I know you tuned in when I had Ray on, all right? We got Mechanical Menace, Death Wish. Hey, look at Tank right there. Look at that book, folks. Isn't that dope? Look at that. Fire. That's right. We're gonna talk about how you could get your hands on books like that and more from the Lesser Known Comics brand. Now, you know what we do with Comic Crew. Hey, wait, show me that, bro. He can't be left behind. Say, wait a minute, I got something too. Oh, that's so dope. Look at that.
Open it up. Oh, dude, show the spread.
So show it. All right. I mentioned this to Mark in backstage. I said when I looked at this particular story, I immediately picked up. Damn, this is so Tank Girl, so Jamie Hewlett. I said, whoa, are you inspired by me? But we're gonna find out. Hold on, don't answer yet, because I dug it. It was madness. So let's get into the origin story, fellas. All right, let me start with Mr. Mark, the founder. Mark, let me know where you from, where you hail from originally, where you at now, and how did you even get into fandom?
All right, yeah. So originally from California, San Francisco, Oakland Bay area, now I'm living in DC, which I just finished out. I was in the Army for a long time.
Well, thank you for your service, my brother. Muchas gracias, kiddo.
Support. Yeah. So what do you do after that, right? Something completely different. So I was like, hey, I've always liked creative writing. I was like, trying to get, and it was only kind of after rereading Watchmen, because like most people, like they had it at the library when you were growing up and you read it and you didn't really understand it, and then like you reread it like later, a couple times as an adult. And that's how I'd get, try doing some comic books, started reaching out to, I had the plan to just do one book. I was like, hey, I'm going to just do one book. And I tried out a couple artists to be like, see who's going to be the artist. I fell in love with all of them. And I was like, all right, we're going to make like 3 books now. And then like, they're going to cross over and they're going to do stuff like that. And then of course, like talent attracts talent because these, original artists were so dope. Then people like Kieran and a few other folks just started like showing up, being like, hey, can we make some comics too?
Hey, Mark, what's up, bro? How are you?
we got something for you.
Hey, yeah. Come over here. Psst, psst. That's straight up Brooklyn right there, bro. You got something. Come over here. Right.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, right, like my wife, she's like, I agree that you could make a comic book, like one comic book. What's going on here? Like, why is there a whole company now? And it,
He went inside his office one day. Babe, I promise it's one, and comes back with a whole team when he got out. Like, oh snap, who are these people? I dig that. Were you always into pop culture though as a kid? Was that something that was always part of it, or you being an army brat, army kid and all? Were you all about the the popularity and then getting with the ladies and screw comic books for now?
No, I was so like a lot of people didn't have a lot of money growing up, but like the X-Men cartoons and Spider-Man cartoons were on the TV, right? And me feel super old, but like comic books used to be in the grocery store and you could harass your mom like hey, can I get this, right? And you maybe get one or two. So like now as an adult and I can afford comic books, right? It's like having your favorite movies, but then someone being like, guess what? There's thousands of hours of like deleted scenes you've never seen before. And I'm just like, what? So I spent a lot of time reading X-Men because that's like me kind of like reclaiming like my childhood right there.
Awesome. Kieran, get into you now, brother. Or just so where you from, OG? Where you at and your fandom?
Well, I grew up upstate New York, but I've been living in Brooklyn for 10, 12 years now.
Where Brooklyn?
I live in Lefferts Gardens.
All right, cool. I grew up in Greenpoint.
Oh, okay, yeah. I used to live in Greenpoint. I moved a lot. I've moved around a lot. So
when you're from New York, you move around a lot. I was in Bushwick, Ridgewood, Maspeth, East New York, Greenpoint, Long Island City, Astoria.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, Bushwick was my first when I first moved down. It was Bushwick, and
oh my God, what year?
2010.
Oh, it was getting better then. It was getting better.
Yeah, I mean, we had a nice place, but it wasn't. I mean, now it's totally changed. Like you can walk around without a care in the world.
One of my friends said it best. He says, now you could walk around drunk as shit at 3 a.m. in Bushwick and you're not going to be bothered anymore. I'm like, really? I said, I remember going to the White Castle in Bushwick and one of my boys got spanked online and it was only 1 a.m. by some drunk lady. Don't ask. It was just a wild night. And some dude that came in looking like Fat Albert, belly out, talking about, I'm hungry. I'm like, oh, damn, bro. I got to get out of here. Weirdos. Only in New York. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
So what are your fandoms? Or the story on the fandom?
Well, like Mark was saying, I mean, X-Men. I mean, I grew up reading X-Men, Chris Claremont, his whole run, and with Jim Lee and all those guys. I mean, that was like my intro, but then I got into a lot of DC. I always liked Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Neil.
Rest in peace. Man.
Yeah, rest in peace. I mean, all his stuff like really influenced me. I used to I remember like trying to trace his stuff or kind of draw his stuff.
Don't tell me you're a tracer. When you putting that pencil on the comic.
Hey, no, not like this is when I was like a kid, when no, not now. Not now.
I know. I remember, why? Because I remember as a kid there used to be a store called Grand Book Center, and they were basically selling used books, and this is way back in the day. So I'm finding like old school Sergeant Furies and stuff, and I'm buying a pack of 4 of them for $1. But then when I would look at the cover carefully, I'm like, why is there lines on it? Because people like you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you're 10, you don't know any better. You don't realize that you can draw yourself.
I have my comic books from when I was 10. My G.I. Joes, they're in a box right there still. And I never bagged them, and they still in pretty decent shape. Bought day and date.
Right? Yeah, I mean, I got...
It's incredible willpower.
My entire place is action figures and stuff. And
I could tell, bro. I mean, that's the multiverse of Kieran's madness there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so talk about taking the creative steps, because Mark, you're saying here you are, come off the army, you're trying to find what you want to do next. Was there like a learning curve for you here? And if so, what did you do? How did you even tackle, you wanting to, get onto this creative road?
Yeah, Google, right? The first thing
Google.
I do, right?
Hey, Google.
And actually, I Googled making comics like 101.
Okay.
And there was a series of like YouTube videos by a guy named Scott Circlin. I mean, like 70 plus videos, and
Wow.
they were great. And even though I was just writing and I wasn't illustrating, I wanted to know about the illustration process, right? So that I could understand what things they were telling me. I watched all 70 videos and I emailed the dude and I said, hey, like, I still got questions and I want to learn more. And he's been my mentor since the beginning. Just like we meet once a month, and he tells me all the things that and answers all my dumb questions and stuff like that. I start, and he was the one who kind of said, "So you start out small, right? Like, don't try and go for a graphic novel right off the bat, because we're not all." Ray Garza's personally, so yeah, 5-page, 6-page, 7-page, and just keep going and going. So the stuff that we have in the works are 22 pages and beyond now, like for what's coming in later in the year and stuff like that. So what we ended up happening was just having all these short stories that were centered around a main character, and this main character, she's on that front cover here.
Ooh,
so she's
yes. Look at that,
so
folks.
So that's Danny. She's been alive for since the mid 1800s, and she stumbled across some witchcraft. And unlike, most times you read it, right? Like people, like they get good at their witchcraft and they become the best at it, right? But that's not how I think it would happen in real life. You go, okay, how do I do get rich quick? How do I curse people I don't like?
Yep,
and maybe you don't read the fine print. Maybe you don't think long-term consequences.
How do you choke a troll through the internet? Yeah, right.
So she's a woman that's lived a bunch of different lifetimes. So when me and Kieran were working on a project, we were like, hey, well, what if she was doing some sort of demolition derby type of race thing, kind of at one point in her life. And, Kieran is incredibly versatile in what he can do. So we just really embraced the Marvel method. And I was just like, the scripts, you could only loosely call them scripts, what I give him,
I love it. Don't tell me you're going on video. Kieran, sit down. Let me act this out for you real quick. Doing Stan Lee. Love that. That's pretty dope. So what was the most difficult part of that learning curve for you?
I think I'll tell you what was surprisingly easy, and then what was surprisingly hard. The surprisingly easy thing was I've lucked out with the illustrators that we started working with. They're visual storytellers. So if you let them do their thing, like I don't need to tell Kieran in crazy detail what an explosion should look like. That dude does art. He's visual. That's the, and you can let go of that. And then it becomes so much easier, right? To like let them, and then they'll bring something back. So the more, but then the stuff like that no one ever talks about, like, hey, you just printed a bunch of comics and you didn't put your website anywhere on it. Or, that typo that you keep correcting somehow wanders back on, those were a lot of the first, batch 1, batch 2 of lesser known comics. We've gotten better at it, now that we're on batch 4. But those are the things they don't tell you. Yeah.
Gotcha. Kieran, how about you when you started taking that creative journey? When did you take it? How did you start taking it? Did you even know what you were getting into?
Well, I've always wanted to do comics. So I kind of got like, I don't know, I kind of have always been involved with, or I've always involved myself with drawing sequential art, and I've always really enjoyed it, and enjoy the creative process that it, gives you. So like a few years back, one of my friends introduced me to someone that had a story, and he handed that story over to me and said, "Here, like, let me see if you can draw this. Like, let's see what you got, basically." So I
show me the money, he said.
Yeah, I scribbled it out, and he was like, "This is awesome." And he got in contact with Mark, and Mark took a look at that and said, "Yeah, you know, I want to see this. I want to see what else he can do."
The bromance was born out of that.
Yeah. So I think it had a lot to do with the style and like how I, a lot of my art is just free flowing. Like, I don't like to trap everything in little boxes if I can help it. So I think we both enjoy that kind of storytelling, and that's I don't know. That's it.
Guys, don't you worry. I want to show some teasers and stuff, but yeah, you gotta see like the artwork on Death Wish. Like I said, I was like, yo, you're talking Neil Adams and all, but I'm seeing Jamie Hewitt here because it's so tank girlish and it looks so fire, and again, it's so Mad Maxis. Yeah, look at this. Too funny, bro. Oh, you know what?
Yeah. As an example, really quick, I mean, so this is one of the first things that I've seen Kieran actually digitally color, because most of what he does is like a watercolor. And
look how gorgeous. Yes.
And the other thing about him, and maybe because I grew up listening to punk rock, and it's like distortion and feedback, and it's okay if you have the clicks of the drums and all that stuff or whatever, like in the background. So when we shrunk down the pages, we kept those borders, right, where you can see the borders of the actual, because he does everything traditional. Because I don't know, it just felt like cropping his art, like I just couldn't do it. Like, like it's
I'm
like, no, if he drew it,
this page, no.
If he drew it, it's getting printed. I don't care.
I love that attitude.
That's not the rule.
No, I love that attitude. Well, that's what makes us known comics, like the punk rock of comics, right? You said it. You laid it out, man. I mean, it's what it is. Yo, we're coming at you hard, people, and enjoy it for real. I dig that. So let me show. I wanted to show off the trailer real quick because I want to start talking about the Batch 4, right? But you sent me the Tank McGregor. I love that. It's so sick. There you are. Check this out, folks. This is check it out. Let's know the volume 3. I need to know what but lesser known comics. I have to ask him because now Mark disappeared on him. There he goes. I know. Big fingers, little phones, and things happen. I know. It's all right. So I want to ask you, where does the name lesser known comics come from? How did you come up with that name?
I had a buddy who he does a bunch of design work and stuff like that, and lesser known design was his thing. And I said, hey, I'm going to start this comic thing, and I'm thinking we're just going to call it lesser known comics. And then when our paths can cross, because he makes really cool carved things out of wood and stuff like that, using the big fabric, the laser thingy and whatever.
Oh, nice.
eventually that'll be something that will just merge together because, we've been best friends since we were kids, so,
that's awesome.
But then I didn't think right, when you have something that's kind of almost like too generic, right? You type in lesser known comics into Google, it's going to give you, you got a lot to compete with.
You're going to look up a lesser known comics. Like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. So it took us a while to get the Google rankings. And I was like, oh, I should have thought of something more.
But isn't that funny as well? That's part of the learning curve as an entrepreneur, because that's what you are as well. You got so much to learn because not just, building teams and making comics. You got to market these things. You got to learn SEO. It's a full plate. All right. I want to bring up the Kickstarter though, because now you got batch 4. This baby is live right now, right? With 30 backers, 23 days to go. You're almost at halfway, so congrats. That is fire. Talk, look at that. So, talk to me about everyone here you got, because I know you had Ray, and how did you meet Ray? Because now obviously we got Death Wish and this one, this Franco Luna one. Fucking twisted, yo. That's a twisted story. I wasn't knowing what to expect. My eyes are just flowing as the art tells the story. I'm like, whoa, folks, with you. It's beautiful. So talk to me. How did you even hook up with the team and the way you built them?
Okay.
Let's start with Kieran. We already know his story. Let's start with Ray, because we had him. And then we're gonna get all over the Death Wish again, because I love that the art on that book, man.
Yeah, well, starting with Ray, Ray actually, you met him, you interviewed him, and it was just such a rad guy, and the work he puts in and how proactive he is, because he went ahead and he printed his own book. He made a lot of the trailers and stuff. He went and had his cousin make that dope song that gets me super pumped every time I hear it. And you get a lot of, as a publisher, you get a lot of submissions, right? People who are not ready to put a comic book out. And then sometimes you get somebody like Ray, who's just I have literally done all the work. I just want to come, be part of the team. And so it was truly a blessing. And, he just gets along so well with everybody on the team, and he's, just, super warm guy. So he's already, so we took the opportunity on this one. This is, besides Digital Lizards of Doom, this is the first, graphic novel that we're kicking off, as part of lesser knowns. Cause, Digital Lizards of Doom, they started with us as on level 3. Yeah. So we got the idea, okay, well, maybe what we'll do is, on each one of these batches, we'll have a headliner, the graphic novels are our featured piece. And then what we'll do is, we have Death Wish and Good Night, which are shorter comics and stuff like that. But then, people can kind of we're putting together, curating an indie comic collection for them from an anthology in a sense. Yeah. Nice. So what is it? The deconstructed anthology. So you just get more covers. I want that concept to get popularized. I don't know.
It's gonna happen, kiddo. It's gonna happen, because lesser known comics won't be lesser known for long. Because let me tell you, y'all got some fire. Now, one thing that also stuck out to me with Death Wish, again, so Jimmy Hewlett style, bro. X, bro, you're the man, bro. Who does the lettering too? Because that also very nicely done. Is that also you, Kieran, or do we have a letterer on the team? What?
No, that Mark, he's got that covered. That part is covered.
Oh, dude!
No.
Oh,
it's not me personally. Oh. So
who you got?
We work with a couple of different letterers, and Letter Squids is the name they go by. But it's the guy. His name is Justin. He's doing a lot of people's books, and just. I so easy to work with, And you know, I'm just expecting one day he's going to be completely out of our price range because you know, he's just he's just too good, you know. So hopefully, you know, we can keep him around.
Finding good letterers are hard as well to find, you know, especially because I mean, you saw the reason I mentioned that because the splash panel you brought up before from the interior with the big boom. I mean, it was so gorgeously done, like you said, because you were talking about the panels and all, but the placement as well. Dope.
Okay, so some words in there are done by me.
I mean, they are.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So like, if I knew I needed to put, you know, that kind of thing in, like, yeah, like you said, the boom. Wait, okay, let me take a look at my comic. Yeah, I mean, anytime there's like something written.
I like that one too. I mean, it does. Sundays. And you know what, you bastards, you made me say it like the damn commercial. Sunday. I'm just saying it like that. I'm like, whoa, why am I reading this like that? So,
yeah, I mean,
also the style,
every time we talk about it.
Kayfabe, is it? You also have that. I don't know. You have such a blend of styles.
Yeah,
Dude,
you know,
dude.
Yeah, the thing about Kieran is, so when he was doing a crime noir type thing, like vigilante streets in New York thing when I first met him, but then I looked at his page, like his Instagram feed, and he's got, you know, mummies wearing boxer shorts. He's got like this like military dude. It's got like a turtle like helmet thing, just a bunch of like wacky stuff. And I was just like, we gotta get this guy something where he can just do whatever like comes to his brain, because all those extra racers, like I tell him like what maybe a couple racers are going to look like, but all those extra racers, like that's all him, you know.
Bring that up, brother. Bring it up. Oh, snap, dude! You see? Ooh, that looks so dope. Wow.
Yeah.
Mark, bro. I mean, you are finding uber talented people. Yeah, bro, for real, man. This is why it's meant to happen, because as I see it from the Kickstarter page, right there. Look, homie has people in the U.S., Argentina, Canada, Italy, and España. Whoa, talk about global team. Holy smokes, bro. I mean, how easy was that to even form, or was that something that, or was that a happy accident?
Yeah, you know, I've been kind of blown away about how international, like making indie comic books have become. There's something in the water in South America, because the art that's coming out of Argentina and Brazil is just insane.
Yo, you're not lying. Salute to my gente Latin America, for real.
Yeah, and then just it seems like certain countries have like certain specialties that they're just doing so well.
You hit every country though that's doing it. I mean, even Italy. You know what I mean, because I just finished speaking with Andrea Muti not too long ago, and you know, uber talented artists, like, and from Italy. We were discussing pizza. Why wouldn't we? You know,
of course.
Yeah, and tell me about Good Night, because this was freaky, man. Hey, shout out to Big Lucas, Dark Horse 305. Hey, Paul, check out the website, the shop, Fashina CC. Talk to me about it, because this is creepy. I'm like, what is going on?
So, Franco did, man, where can I find it? So, I can't find, oh, there it is. So Franco initially did, like, you know, this kind of stuff for us. You know, it's
oh, so nice.
Like,
is that like a holographic cover, chromium type?
Yeah, this is for our international backers, because you know, shipping's a grip going overseas. So that's one of the like little perks that we were like, hey, you know, well, so he was doing just, you know, our normal story, same character, right? At this point in the story,
okay.
She's essentially a witchcraft arms dealer in South America.
Witchcraft arms dealer. Jesus Christ, how to mix.
So, but yeah, he comes to me and he was like, "Hey, I got this like weird idea for a book, and I just don't like have a good way of explaining it. Can you just give me the freedom to just do what I want for a little bit?" And I was like, "Okay." So he said it's not going to have any words. It's going to be horror, suspense kind of thing. And I think it really just like showcases like a lot of his talent, like from perspective, you know, and then like panel layout and stuff like that. Just, you know, some of these things are just really, you know, Awesome. And then I don't want to give away too much because when you get to the end, like I don't know if you saw Gabe's post. He's like, I can't go in the dark now, dude. Like you like ruined. Like I can't sleep alone in my house.
I could see this as like being on those old school mini sort of horror shows. You know, like remember like Monster back in the day, Tales from the Dark Side. I mean, this shit is effed up because the whole time you're like, what? Like things are going on. The story's there. Like, where's this going? And then damn, the payoff. Like, oh damn. Yeah, bro. Gabe, man, I'm with you, bro. For real. That's some scary shit, bro. And then let me go back to this awesome Kickstarter. So with this, we have multiple ways we could pledge, right? Starting as low as $6, folks. All right. Tank McGregor Zero mini comics, right? Look at this, digital versions. And the Mechanical Menace. We got batch 4, right? Ooh, for $30. Ooh. How do you come up with all these tiers, man? How did you even learn to navigate crowdfunding? That's a new creator.
That's one of the tough things. You gotta ask a lot of people and stuff like that. And I think one of the things that we learned, right away is that like having those multiple price points, right? Because sometimes people see a project and they're like, I'm only interested in the digitals, or some people want like I'm always astounded when people like are just like, I'm going to buy $200 of comic books today.
I want everything.
Like, okay, so I'm not going to stop you. And we added the tier on there too for the sketch cover, because sometimes it's just artists, right, who are like, oh, like I want to back this. I'll throw a couple bucks and I'm going to get, this sketch cover back. And then I can, draw, in my own way or whatever. And those are always really cool to have. I got this one from Roz and the Big Man. They do like do you know those guys?
No, but I love that cover.
Yeah. So, and I was just like, anytime you can have somebody else draw something that
your baby,
your baby, it's just so cool. So, and then, we had been doing these batches. So essentially, we try and make each Kickstarter give opportunities for people to, get caught up if they want and stuff like that. So we're going to keep doing these batches. I think batch 5 is only, it's only going to be a couple months away after this one. Okay. And it just also
so the process is speeding up now then for you.
It is
awesome.
Yeah. And that was the big thing too, right? Is getting a Kickstarter launched is a beast. Fulfilling a Kickstarter is insane. It's just things you just never thought would, come up, right? Where you find out like, it's just a lot of things that you have to like correct, and like go through, like not just like on the work, but actually like filling out your order form correctly and, working with the printer and, making sure
working closely with the printer.
Yeah. Shout out to Comics Wellspring. Just an absolutely amazing printer. Yeah.
Excellent. Kieran, have you been along this road as well in the crowdfunding space, or is this your first journey, with Mark, this
is really my first journey with it. I mean, I'm not much of a computer guy.
That's another thing I wanted to ask you too. Is like, why do you prefer the old school still? As opposed to the easiness. I mean, so many people have transferred. Oh, it's just so much easier now.
Well, people say it's easier, but I just can't get a handle on it. I can't. I just can't do it. There's no feel of the paper. There's no like, paint under my fingernails, that kind of thing. Like
you want to break your pencil's point and sharpen it and be like, yeah, I did something.
Yeah. I want to feel every part of the process. And when it's done on the computer, it just doesn't work that way.
You feel robbed in a digital atmosphere.
Yeah. I like having a physical. Yeah. Like when I'm done, I'm like, no, that's the piece. Like I can't just push copy paste.
I hear you, brother. I have boxes of comics still. I'm a physical man still. I need to hold my book. especially in the vintage one when you go, you know, the first thing you do.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I have a friend that he could tell the smell, you know, what year by the smell. I mean, he's sick. Shout out to 13 on that. And am I gonna get a bookmark like this too for Death Wish? Because I need this.
I have to see what the actual bookmarks look like for Death Wish, because we end up making a bunch of them, and then we pick what which ones we want.
This one is fire, yo! If you could do it like that, that's fire.
Yeah, that's awesome. I want one of those
too.
Right?
I mean, Jackie already made it. She just got to print it on paper. So, like, yeah, message received. It looks like we're gonna get a new Death Wish bookmark if we don't already have it.
Yeah. Oh, and even the Good Night is. See, I like it like this. This looks really good, really good. And this cover, man. I mean, it's so simple. But again, when you read the story, you're like, oh shit, it says a lot.
It reminds me of like Shel Silverstein, which also lured me into a fake like sense of security. You know, false sense of security.
It's a nice book. It's a nice book.
Man, look at that. Look at that art, guys. I mean, new, totally independent company. Right? We got, look, the launch date was actually yesterday. Wait, I mean, you did this in one day? The halfway mark?
That, it's all, it's one of the things too that new creators, I can't say enough about the amount of, people who've been doing Kickstarters for a while that I call up, and, they say, they're just so supportive, and they I know they're busy because I know how busy I am, and they got campaigns that are much bigger than ours, but just the fact that they, will sit down and talk, through some of that stuff. I spent an hour on the phone with Isaac Bell. I don't know if you've seen Metal Shade Comics.
Yes.
That dude,
wow,
dude is insanely talented, and he's as nice as he is talented. I don't know if you've had him on your show.
No, he needs to come on if you watch him, brother.
Yeah,
like, we got to get it done because I want to celebrate the spirit of independent, because that's what it is. Independent helps one another so much. You guys, this community has one another's backs, like unlike any other community I've seen, for real. I mean, when indie gets together, they stick together, and it's great to see that love, support, and encouragement that's so needed. I mean, all over the world, but it's nice to see at least our little portion of our geekdom in the world has this. That we're not driven totally mad by the craziness of TV sometimes.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh yeah.
I
mean, look at all this. Oh, Vampire Color. There's so many other titles here. What's going on? Oh my God.
Yeah. So, so on the add-ons, you can get, you can either get the full catalog, or on the add-ons, you can like pick and choose from what's on there. So I worked at the mall, the Vampire Cult story. So this is actually done by.
You did it. That's small stuff. I love it. Yes.
Yeah, so Charlie Ragnarok, she's actually our creative director now, because just size comparison.
Whoa, yeah.
She was doing stuff for me. She did LKC number 4, and
wow.
And then she showed me the script for this, or she showed me the pages for this, and I was like, "You are a way better writer than me. Why the hell are you illustrating my pages? You need to illustrate your own pages." And then. Just her process is really tight, and then she's really easy to get along with and stuff like that. So she ended up, kind of taking that creative director position. So we're still new. We're like a startup, right? So our processes are still a hot mess, and she's really helping it be like, okay, like when comic books are getting made, here's the checklist, and you're going to do these things, and things will be filed here and not saved as like crazy file names that we can't like sort through later and stuff like that.
Have you guys hung out yet in real life, or has it been a internet thing?
Me and Kieran haven't hung out yet.
Yeah.
Oh, not yet?
No.
Oh, isn't that wild? So you guys got this dope product and haven't even met in person yet. Oh, man.
I know, and it's a shame because like only
night.
4 hours away. Like I can just drive up there.
Yeah, or I could drive down there.
Yeah, halfway in Philly.
Yeah, exactly. Make it a 2-hour drive for both and meet halfway.
Yeah.
Although you're gonna meet in Philly, I mean, what besides a Philly cheesesteak, what else is out there? You know what I mean? Come on. And now I gotta talk about this because this is I see this and you mention it, and it's a pledge to local comic shops and a commitment, to a no Amazon pledge. Why? Why that? Which is again, good on you too, because I see how Amazon kind of, after they bought Kamisaji, a lot of people got hurt. Took big hit, if you will. So why the stance?
It's one of those things that started with the idea that, the lifeblood of comic books, is that comic book shop. Amazon's doing, even for all their evils and stuff like that, the fact that we got like Invincible on like Amazon Prime, like I'm not going to be mad at them about that, right? But at the end of the day, like, what is Amazon going to have a book signing like for on Free Comic Book Day, like at the Amazon? No, come on,
they're not.
And
would be cool. Imagine a Free Comic Book Day in the Amazon warehouse. Geez, that'd be huge.
Awesome. Same thing with the Amazon algorithm is designed, to sell you books. It's AI driven computer, right? But like when you have a comic book shop and you got, somebody who they live and they breathe the comics and they make that recommendation, like a shop owner's recommendation holds so much weight, and it's for good reason, right? Like it's because most places, right? You think of like when you go to the grocery store or you go to wherever, right? And you ask for help, you need like a question for like a hard, something that, it's less and less common where somebody can like, there's that person who's been working there for 20 years that knows the answer to everything. Yeah. But comic book shops still have that, right? There's that dude, right? Or that chick, right? Who just knows everything. And if they don't know it, they're going to call somebody and they're going to figure it out, right?
And they're honest too. That's what I love about the honesty. Cause they'll be honest. Even if they're selling it, if it's not good, it's not good, and they'll be honest. And if it's wonderful, then they'll sell you the whole run if they could, which is great. I'm one of those. Give me the run, I'll buy it.
So I was visiting a shop. I visited 30 some odd shops on a trip to go to our printer up in Michigan.
Whoa, 30 shops. Whoa, did you record this at all? I would have loved to see that. The Mark Bernal comic book tour.
We'll have to go again. And what was surprising is like comic scene is super healthy in like the Great Lakes region. Like so many shops were like expanding. They were getting the store next to them, or they had like craft beers or coffees and stuff like that.
I see that really nice. I see an old shop. They actually bought the empty lot next to them when they got empty. And basically one side is comics, the other side is liquor. So now you go to the liquor store, have a couple of drinks, go to the comic shop because it's a huge gaming room in the back, and you'll have a good time.
That's awesome.
So we went into one of them, and one of them, like, we were just joking one day, and they were like, we were going to do a variant cover for them for Free Comic Book Day, and they essentially dared me to put "fuck Amazon" on it, and I was like, don't threaten me with a good time. Like, literally put, as you saw the sketch cover, we put the "fuck Amazon" on it. So just like everything, things get away from you.
Okay, but that's good on you, man. That's the way sometimes you got to fight the big company again, because it's true. These shops, they're fighting to survive. A lot of them, COVID wasn't. COVID, we lost many shops. And how was you guys' journey during COVID and trying to build up and work? I mean, I'll start with Kieran here. How did you deal with that? And then did it affect you at all in a negative way, or did you feel you got even more done?
Well, I have a full-time contracting job.
Okay.
So I work full-time. I work 2 days a week. And then the rest of my week is doing art and stuff. Because I tortured myself for about 7 years doing like 70-hour work weeks in order to be like, nope, I'm doing 2 days and that'll pay my bills and I'll, do what I wanted to. So when COVID hit, it was kind of like, all right, just keep doing my 2 days. Cause I'm like a manager at a warehouse.
Okay.
And and then when this came along, I mean, it was pretty much like, oh, I can't go outside. Sure, I'll just sit in my studio and work. Like that's great on me, you know.
Thank you, Lockdown. Got stuff done.
Yeah.
What about you, Mark? Man, did you kind of dig into too? I mean, because you also have family and all. I mean, how managing that? Because you said you have kitties, so I mean, were they here? You were dealing with all this too? That madness?
Yeah, no, exactly what your wife, who has a 1-year-old and is, pregnant with the next one, like exactly what she wants to hear is like, hey, so instead of taking like a defense contractor job or something that's gonna I'm gonna do a comic book company. And she was just like, the fuck you say?
She's like, wait, let me take this baby out just for 1 second so I could beat your ass real quick. What?
No, but she's been
That's
super
awesome.
supportive, and I think she knows, right? Like there's people out there that you got to create something, or else you're gonna lose it, And if COVID taught us anything, it was about like the importance of mental health, right? Because people, everyone kept being like, oh, I'm seeing a therapist too. Oh, you taking those meds? I'm taking these meds. Like we started like opening up about that kind of stuff, And so art as therapy, is super important, so I think that was one of the hidden blessings of that is, and then we all got good at Zoom really quick, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I never liked Zoom. That's why I love my StreamYard. Much easier, more personal.
Yeah.
But I was navigating the Zoom with Read Pop in events, and that was pretty cool. But then there was an artist, an Indian gentleman. His name escapes me right now. I'm sorry, man. That I met through Read Pop. Awesome artist. He had so many plans. 2 months later, we lost him to COVID. So sad, yo. And it's like, wow, this man had like visions and showing us art in those little meetings. Like, yo, look what I have already done. Man, broke my heart, yo. I mean, thank God that you guys are okay, your families, man, and for doing what y'all do, yo, because we need this. So before we go, I just want to give the rest of a rundown of the tiers, right? So with 30, you get that batch 4, right? Then we got the graphic novel digital bundle.
So yeah,
40.
So for less what is it, the Digital Lizards of Doom books? So people missed out on that, and they were just like, hey, I just want you guys. Graphic novels are my thing. Ooh. Yeah, you get 1, 2, and 3, and then Ray's book as well, and then I think we did a physical version, right? And then what? They got the complete shebang, right?
Whoa, yeah, yo, look at this for 72. That's a bargain. That's a bargain for real. You got that much content? Hell yeah, yo. Oof, yes. 4 graphic novels. I dare you cannot go to a Barnes and Noble and buy 4 graphic novels for that much. For real. You know what I mean? That's good pricing, people. Especially what you get, it's quality and it's independent. You gotta support indie. Holy shit, the complete collection. Look at this. It's like a scroll. Love it. I like that title. So I worked at the mall, the Vampire Ghost Story. Man, malls, huh? Something of the past as well.
That story is incredibly true as well. That's a
really.
It's the manager starts dating a chick that's like part of a vampire cult, and they start trying to infiltrate the mall to take it over.
Did he work at Spencer's? Oh, this is so fire. But again, look at that. Great pricing, awesome team, a very creative team at that, And it's a man with a plan. And I see something here. What's this? Wait. You said check out our latest podcast. What's that? Yeah, you do podcasts too, Mark?
Well, we have the I Don't Know Shit About Comics podcast.
I love the title.
The last episode was with Gabe. So that's on Spotify and all the places where you can get podcasts.
Awesome. How normally do you drop an episode?
Not as much as we should. That's one of the things too, is right. There's never enough hours in the day. So, one of the things we also try and stress is if people need time off for things and stuff like that, that we like afford them that break, whether it's for they're ill or just need like, mental space, or Kieran's getting married soon.
Hey, congrats,
like that,
brother. So that 2 days is gonna go to 4 days now. But congratulations, my brother. When the nuptials expected? Any plans?
August 26th.
Hey, there you go.
Unfortunately, our venue got canceled last week.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, 3 months before, it's like, okay.
Gee, thanks,
I guess
guys.
we'll figure something else out.
Man, you know what? You're like, no, it's not canceled. I'm walking in there. Yeah. My party. You better have food.
Yeah, right.
That's dope. You guys, man, got some dope energy, great entrepreneurial energy, and awesome spirit, man. Lesser known comics, man, for real, folks. This is what I need you to do, like immediately. You can click the links right on the notes if you're watching this on YouTube. Also, right, click away, folks, and follow on Instagram, Lesser Known Comics. You can follow Mr. X right here. I'm just gonna call you X. I like that. So KX Quinn Sketchbook on Instagram. Please, again, support Lesser Known Comics on Twitter. Lesser K, the letter K Comics. All right, this is where it's at, folks. It's the spirit of indie. It's real deal. I mean, I just showed you a dope ass Kickstarter right there. Batch 4 live right now. That link is also there. So click away and throw your wallet at the screen, folks. Make it rain. Right? Get those high tiers, because you know you want all that self porn that they're trying to sell you. All right, it's some good stuff. Trust me, you're gonna enjoy the hell out of it. I love the Death Wish. I love that freaky ass story. I love the what's his name? Digital Lizard Doom. All that good stuff right here. Tank. I mean, how could you not love a guy named Tank McGregor? All right, come on. So it's some fire stuff, folks. Please support indie. Support awesome creators like this, Mark and Kieran. Not just thank you for your time, but just thank you as a fan, to creators like you for creating content to entertain the shit out of me, either scare the hell out of me, make me laugh, floor me and wow me with beautiful art, and creativity and words. Just thank you. You guys keep doing what you're doing, because Lesser Known Comics, as I said, would be very known real soon. For real. You're going to have to change the name, Very Known Comics, all right? So, for real, man, thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it. Folks, you know what to do, all right? Now, it's my pleasure, Mark. You rock. Kieran, you rock. X.
Thank you so much.
Congrats on the upcoming nuptials. Hey, support. You got good ladies in your lives, man. Supporting. So, you see, ladies and vice versa, man, support your creative partners, because, again, you never know where they could reach. It's limitless, all right? So, with that, thank you for hanging out. I'm Al Mega with another Comic Crusaders podcast. Hasta la próxima. ¡Wepa! Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.